Welcome to our Mobilizing Leadership production of Living Leadership. This series works from the premise that leadership is not a title, but a mindset. Filmed in one take, it explores how people navigate beyond the status quo and captures their insights on what leadership looks like across their work, life, and community. The Discovery Whiteboard session is facilitated by Stuart Morse, and we welcome our guest. So welcome back to another Living Leadership interview. We're here with Fernando Benitez. Fernando, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, my name's Fernando Benitez. I am a amateur boxer. I cater the best barbecue in St. Louis, and I truly believe that health is wealth. So,
Awesome. So when we, a lot of times we think about leadership's not a title, but it's a mindset. So if you think about it as a mindset, how does that start to show up for you across your work life and in your community?
A lot of discipline.
Discipline?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So discipline is definitely a big one in my shoes, just simply because I'm in charge of most of my training.
Okay.
So being in charge of it, it allows for lots of room for error if you let it. Especially can spiral out of control, and then it's just stressing you out at the end of the day. So being disciplined is such a huge one for me because at the end of the day, I'm the one that's accounted for my miles. I'm the one that's accounted for my nutrition.
So in regards to discipline is what I'm hearing you say is accountability.
Yep.
Okay.
Self-passion. For sure.
Self-passion. Tell me about that.
So, understanding my vision is a huge one for me because, what fuels that? And that's my passion for the game. I truly believe that the better I take care of myself is the better I'm going to be able to perform.
So is this really, I almost feel like I should write vision up here, a discipline to the vision?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Okay, so all these are driving the discipline around the vision.
Correct.
Okay, and but it's all driving towards that. So what are other elements of this that you said a lot about this discipline that drives accountability and this the idea about self-passion, but if I heard you correctly, the self-passion is really a clarity of the vision, right?
Right. Yes.
Of what is this loop back up to there?
So ultimately, I wake up every morning and I chase my ultimate vision of being the next world champion.
Okay.
So with that, would come all these, but that is definitely my vision.
So what are you as you're being aware of this? What are you watching in yourself? What are aspects that you're watching for in yourself?
My mindset is a huge one. Is a huge one. Who I surround myself with is ginormous.
Okay, so mindset, and then who's around you, right?
Right. The things that I'm taking in, like what are the things that is going through my ears, because self-doubt is a huge one. You hang around people that are they have self-doubting beliefs. That comes into your stream, and just really just having a razor sharp a pick on who you're gonna have to surround yourself with, and that's a big one for me. The people that I have to surround myself with they have to understand that I truly believe in my head that I'm gonna be the world champion, it would behoove me to make sure that I'm surrounding myself with those types of people, because if I truly believe in that vision, then those are the type of people that's going to help me get to the next level.
So you really have to understand that the people you put around you.
Yes.
So when you think about so you've got these are your elements of your leadership mindset to be able to drive towards that vision, and then from hearing you correctly, it's also then, hey, you got to have this people around you, and what aspects around the people? What do you when you start to meet people, and what kind of things do you decide on, or that you look for, that you say, that person needs to be part of my input, that needs to be around me? What are you watching for in those people?
Probably the number one thing is kindness.
Kindness. Yep. Okay.
I used to not be the nicest person myself, and I was when I was much younger, you know, I truly believe that I wasn't a nice person because I wasn't happy with myself and what I've been doing with my life at said point, you know. So kindness is definitely a big one, because I mean, I'm not a religious person by any means, but everything done right is done with love, and that's a huge thing for me. I have to understand that what fuels me at the end of the day is the love and happiness that I'm getting from my team, the people that I'm surrounding myself with. Not only are they on board with my vision, but me also being on board with what they're doing in their lives.
Okay, so they're providing input here, but you're also creating a feedback loop to them around kindness. So did I put this in the right place, that this kindness is that this comes from this place of love?
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. And I've noticed too, with you know, as quick
I almost want to put love right here in the center, right? That's kind of fueling the center of this.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. And you know, I've noticed lately too, this is a real big one for me, because I mean, if your mindset's who you're around, you know, the more fights that come, the more things that we shoot for said videos or whatever the case may be. You know, there's a lot of people that want to be, that, you know, they're really not kind people, but they want to get in somehow. So that's another thing. You can't,
they kind of want to latch on.
Right, absolutely. Okay. And that can be a drain. You know, with the diets and all that comes with it. You know, that's just adding baggage to it, unnecessary baggage. You know, and I feel like the people is really a big one, because I'm happy every day on my own, you know, but I feel like what helps me even for the fullest max is truly helping somebody understand that they have the utensils to create what they're wanting to do with their life.
So this idea, I'm going to go ahead and put it here, this idea of max, you know, tell me about that. You said the fullest max. What is, I feel like there's kind of like energy there or something, that you're always pushing that this thing should always reach this thing a max. Tell me more about that.
So it's all about happiness, you know.
Okay.
Happiness to the max, without a doubt.
Okay.
What makes me happy is spending 6 to 8 hours in the gym every single day of my life. Now you ask multiple people, that's not the same answer for them, you know. Happiness is simply about doing whatever fulfills you to the max.
Yeah.
You know?
So what does that do for, when you talk about the happiness that comes from being in the gym? What is
so the way that I like to imagine it is, I'm just basically picking at this giant iceberg, and I know that in the center of the iceberg is everything that I've ever wanted and more, but done correctly. Right.
If it's at the center of the iceberg,
right, absolutely,
you got to work to get.
Most definitely. So when I'm in the gym for those hours, what's motivating me is not being there necessarily. It's knowing that each hour that I'm in the gym is a pick in my iceberg.
So, and I'm going to draw my best version of an iceberg. You know, we always talk this thing that there's a lot under the water, right? An iceberg. So, but your goal, this vision, is living at the center of this thing, right?
Right.
And you're having to chip away at it.
Right.
I mean, and I think about this. So, as I'll go back to my thing, is leadership's not a title; it's a mindset. So, to me, it sounds like this is I'm thinking of this as if you have this mindset, because I have a title, then say I'm entitled to the vision. But if I have a mindset, I have to work at it to get, because I know that the goal's inside the iceberg.
Right. And I like the iceberg simply because you can go around. If you truly believe that you're the world champion, you can go around telling everybody you want. But if you truly believe it, you know, you're seeing something nobody else can. So if it is in the center and I'm picking away, I'm picking at something because I know it's there. To everybody else, it's just an iceberg. It's just an iceberg. But then once I get there, everybody, you know, you see what I'm saying? Once I get there, the hard work wasn't seen. The hours. Right. The hours, but I knew it was there, and what fueled me through the craziness, it wasn't, oh, this is something that I just found and I'm hoping it's like some legend that it might be there. No, Fernando knows for a fact that it's in there, because that's what I was put here for. This is my why, and the way that I figured out it was my why is because I happened and I wanted to figure out, I really wanted to get to the bottom of this. But I mean, for the last 3 years, Stuart, I've woken up every single day and I've told myself the same thing. every day. And
so what is it? Okay, so I feel like there's this. Does that come into this discipline? I mean, is it the inner voice that you're constantly taking care of? I mean, what are you? If you're gonna wake up every morning and keep telling yourself the same thing each day, what are you doing? I mean, what does that do for you? What are you actually doing with that process?
So the process actually originated from an exercise that I was doing back when I created Fernie Q's, our business that caters barbecue.
Right.
It was basically making your bed concept, and I wanted to have world champ tendencies. So the making your bed concept was simply making sure that as soon as I woke up in the morning, I did one thing, and that was to make my bed. That was to make my bed. And why did that make me feel
I've
like
read articles about this,
yeah.
Like in the military.
And it works wonders, I will tell you. And I'll tell you what, I don't even want to make the bed, Stuart, but somehow every morning the bed gets made. I'll be honest with you, it's every day.
So that's part of this self-discipline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your internal voice.
And this just isn't in the morning. You circle back to this, so that no matter how your day went, no matter what, training was hard, you had bad clients, no matter how the training went, you're coming back to a world your safe haven, your area, your most safest spot of your home, whatever the case may be. You're coming back there to a world champ mentality because you woke up, you did the thing you're supposed to do, and you're going to bed. The feeling that you get when you're pulling back the covers of the nicely made bed, you know, that is it's reassurance. It's making sure that you're doing what you need to be doing, and that simply aligns with everything that I do.
So how does that so this is about leading yourself to place. What is that? How would you translate that to others around you, around what they're trying to do, and how does that help in others, people being able to lead, or you enabling others to lead?
I would definitely say you have to understand yourself. You know, it's understanding yourself is such a big one. You know, it almost gives you a point of direction. But if you're taking on, I guess this would be a perfect time to talk about it. But when I found out that I was a manager of boxing therapy, being an active fighter out of boxing therapy, I was very, very, I guess you could say, worried in a sense, because now the other fighters are now not looking at me as a fighter, but an authoritative figure, and I knew that would ruffle some feathers, you know, or whatever the case may be. But I've done one thing that I've always done, and that's make sure that I come to work. I come with a happy attitude, you know.
So it's coming back to
absolutely the title itself is nothing, you know. I'm still coming here. I'm doing the same work these guys have to put in. I just really just understanding that nothing changes, I guess, in a sense.
So what I'm hearing you say is, for others, the impact. So you get this title, and now you're all of a sudden, hey, I manage this place. But you came back to this idea of happiness, and what I heard you also is now you're the person surrounding someone else. So if you can just come from kindness and this place of love, would that be fair to say that?
Absolutely.
That is part of what it turns it.
If you have somebody up here that doesn't understand themselves, you know they're not handing down happiness. You know, if they're not happy with themselves, or let's just call it a simply poor diet, and it doesn't allow them to get the rest they need, doesn't give them the clarity that they need, and then this big role fell into their laps, they're not handing this down. So it's always...
So how do you help them with that? I mean, when you encounter that, what do you do?
A big thing, and it actually warms my heart so much when I hear it, but I hear it all the time, but they say, Fernando, how do you stay so positive? Fernando, what is it like that? You always just seem happy. What is it? And it says, I mean, at the start of the whiteboard, it's right there. It's the vision. That is it, right? But then I guess if you were to go a step further,
so you got to be going for something,
right? Well, not so. Well, yes and no. I was simply just gonna say, if you take it a step further, as gratitude, right? Like we come from a time where it was actually rare if you lived to 29. You were considered a witch if you made it past 29, right? It's simply gratitude, you know. I mean, during the Black Plague, they're dumping poop out into the roads where you walk nowadays, you know. So it's knowing. It's simply knowing that you have a 400 trillion chance of even being here on camera right now.
Right.
That's it's simply gratitude, right? And me being Mexican, you know, my half of my family not in the United States, you know. It's being grateful that I'm allowed to be here, that I was born here, and that I get privileges that more than half of my family doesn't get, you know. And that's just knowing that I want to make them proud with the opportunity that I got that they wanted and didn't get, you know. Right. So it's just really a lot of gratitude, you know. But and then having a vision, you know, something's got to fuel that. Something's got to fuel your life,
and then approach
know?
It with this concept of love that around the people that are around you, and you're around others.
Most definitely.
And so if this all churns like a soup,
but to go back on what you were saying, like how would you help somebody lead others, you know, I would just simply probably ask them, like, what are your passions, what makes you happy? Because the quicker we can make the person happy, the quicker they start to share the happiness. You cannot give happiness if you don't own it. If you don't own happiness, how can you expect to deliver it?
Okay.
So you have to be happy yourselves. You know, and before Fernie Q's was created and I worked, you know, I learned what a good boss was and what a bad boss was, right? And the typical common thing would be, the harder you are on your employees, the harder they are going to work for you. But no, not at all. If you have a happy environment, you have a happy workforce. That means you have everything is self-sufficient. It's doing what it needs to do. But if you have a not happy workforce, there's always one person that's mad, and all it takes is one person. All it takes is one person to lower work production. It's no matter what the field may be, there has to be a positive
if
workforce.
Group isn't owning happiness,
right? And I think you had asked me earlier if you were put into a role that you didn't know how to do that role, but you had great leadership skills, you know, anything. I think that was on something along those terms. But anything is possible. You asked me, what do I look for in a person, right? When I bring them around me, kindness was the one thing. It's not whether they can hold mitts for me for boxing. It's not, are they fit? It's not, are they, I'm not looking for something that they can give me back, right? I'm looking for solely one thing, and that's kindness, right?
Okay.
Because this, learning how to hold mitts, learning anything, that you can all teach somebody. You can teach somebody. This, on the other hand, is much harder to teach, right? And you know, it's a multiple things. You know, some people don't receive it, so they don't know how to give it type. It's multiple different windows.
Okay.
But that is
so
the
that's
number
really
one.
It's got to be able to be churned.
Right.
Give and receive. And
I like to be happy, so I have to surround myself with happy people.
Right.
That's just simply how it is.
That makes sense.
Most definitely.
So, is there anything else that you would add to this after what we've drawn here? Is there anything that you think we didn't cover?
I mean, I would say another big one that I don't see on there is health. Health. Okay. Health has made me, you know, just be able to go the extra mile in anything that I set my mind to. You know, it allows, you know, they say if you find something you love, it's easy to work the constant hours, right? It's easy to put in that extra, you know, if people are calling you crazy, you're doing the right thing because you're just nonstop at it, right? You know, the vision can only take you so far, right? But once you start adding all these activities, you know, miles and the diets and stuff like that, right?
I mean, this is just a list of the things that you're talking about.
But this guy right here is gonna, the discipline's gonna take you certain ways, but then the health is gonna allow you for longevity, right? Like, 3 years ago when I didn't see my body the way it was now, you know, this is what drove me, because I knew that one day I would look like this, and I knew that one day I would feel amazing because I followed my diet, and it just health on its own, you know, when you feel good, you look good, and vice versa, you know, it's that's just a big one, you know. I will tell you right now, without my health, I would not be able to spend hours in the gym a day. That is for sure. You know, that is a huge one. And I like experimenting, you know. I like, if it's good for you, I like it, finding out like what vitamins you could take at the same time, but really just holistically trying to get the best out of myself that I can, because we are well-tuned machines, and it's our jobs as the driver to make it, you know. And that's what I think is really cool about it, you know.
Hey, Fernando, thank you very much. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks
this was awesome. This was awesome.
Great job. Thank you to our guest and the Sprint Ahead Mobilizing Leadership people who are collectively working to create leadership for all through shared purpose, connected communities, new opportunities to learn, and action-based leadership experiences. We look forward to hearing your insights. Please connect and move forward with us.